Nigeria is in dire need of improved land administration. The current system faces numerous challenges, including inefficient land registration processes, unclear property rights, corruption, and land disputes. This complexity has caused confusion and disputes among landowners as issues hinder economic development, discourage investment, and increase complexities associated with land acquisition and development.
We have to be able to buy and sell. Today, once you build a house in Yanokpaja, you are not able to sell because there are too many regulations. So that is where we should be looking at. And I'm always very surprised when people keep on talking about land use act, land use act. Let me just tell you that the impediment that we have in land administration, they are not from the substantive provisions of the Land Use Act. They are from the regulations made by the various governments under the Land Use Act. So we just have to sit down and tackle all the states and let them make regulations. Issue around consent, fee, how long they are not in the Land Use Act. The Land Use Act also only says that it shall be unlawful for you to alienate without consent. Every other thing that you see, they are from regulations made pursuant to the Land Use Act, and they can be changed tomorrow if you have a governor that understands what you are talking about. So we need to pay attention to that. So we have to commoditize housing.
In spite of the government efforts in this direction, the problems remain insurmountable. The importance of land to the provision of adequate housing cannot be overemphasized. Addressing the significant concerns of land administration in Nigeria is essential for fostering economic development, reducing conflicts, and ensuring equitable access to land resources for housing development.
I think it's hard for regeneration to work in Nigeria, and I see it works in the UK because you have uniform infrastructure. In Nigeria, it's quite different. So for it to work, you have to have the infrastructure. For example, you have in Maitama in Karu. You also have to have transport access in terms of transport. There's a lot more that needs to go into the areas that need regeneration before it becomes attractive to developers and also to off-takers. So I think the government will have to work towards that to make regeneration an attractive option for developers, because then it allows access to cheaper land and also allows for development, equal development across different areas.
Affordable housing is another pressing global issue, and it becomes attainable when there is a smooth and accessible land administration process.
The sector itself, our sector has a huge credibility gap because of the high failure rate. So in order to fix that, we've got to do a lot of sectoral self-policing. We've got to create sectoral standards and we could say code of practice for developers that are in the industry. And when we do that, we then begin to actually not lobby government, but lobby the market to tell them that, okay, if you're going to invest in housing in Nigeria, these are credible developers that are subscribed to this code of standards. You know that when you're buying from them, this is what you're going to get, and you're going to be able to enforce it. That addresses the credibility gap.
Implementing recommendations will require concerted efforts from the government, civil society, and international partners. For the broader spread of home ownership, land administration has to be tackled and developers encouraged in accordance with the Land Registration Act 2012.